What's up, Kush?
Hey, Alex. How's it going?
How's it? It is going. This is a
Good.
very special and exciting episode that we're talking about today.
It is.
It's your first time facilitating. What was that like?
Um, Overwhelming and great. I'm so conflict averse that even listening to people disagree was very stressful. So I have to say it took a lot not to jump in and try to force alignment all the time and just let a productive disagreement happen. But it was really fun. We lucked out with our guests, so actually it was an honor to be able to do this one.
Well, you were awesome, and I'm very excited for people to hear you. And so, speaking of our guests, who do we have today?
Yeah, so we were so fortunate because we had Kim Callanan, who's the president of Compassion and Choices. And they're really one of the leading advocacy organizations that's helping to advance legislation for medical aid in dying or death with dignity laws in this country. And then on the other side, we had Ira Byack, who literally helped define the discipline of palliative care as it exists in the US. I mean, he's been a leader in that field for decades and actually had totally stepped back from having these conversations because he felt like they'd gotten unproductive. So the fact that we were able to have both of them on the pod was tremendous.
It's amazing. All right, so let's take a second and define medical aid in dying for anyone who is unfamiliar with the term.
Yes.
I'll let you take that one.
Yeah, so important because terminology here is messy. But medical aid in dying in the US actually has a really tight definition. It's really talking about adult, terminally ill patients who are in their last 6 months of life having the ability to get a prescription from their doctor that they take to end their life. It's a really specific frame here in this country. Now, that's very different from the laws that are in place in lots of other countries, and that comes up in the episode. But
Yes.
this is really focused on terminally ill adult patients.
Got it. And that's why we're not calling it assisted suicide or some of the names. It is refers to a narrow and specific
That's right.
term that's used in the legislation in the United States.
That's exactly right.
Um, Excellent. All right. Why is this an important conversation?
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot of movement over the past, you know, 8, 10 years in this country as we see different states grappling with whether to have this legislation in place. At the same time, we've also seen some really fast movement in countries like Canada that, in 2016, I think, started their medical aid in dying journey with a really tight frame and now have some of the most expansive euthanasia laws actually that exist. And so there's a lot of debate right now about should these policies be in place? Also, what do we owe to terminally ill patients? How do we balance those things? So it's a really important moment as this conversation is happening, not just in this country, but I think in lots of countries around the world.
Yes. And it's important for everyone. I mean, everyone either has someone terminally ill in their life or will at some point in the not so distant future. And then we will all be in that position at some point. So it really it's a conversation that gets at one of the most important sort of areas of human care and human
Yeah,
values. And it touches on everything.
it really does. And just that piece of having a choice. Um, and what choice should we have? To your point, we will all unfortunately have to watch a loved one probably suffer toward the end of life. And I know I watched that with my grandmother, who suffered a series of strokes at the end of her life, and it was devastating. And it's
Mm,
hard not to start asking those questions of what choices should we be allowed? And at the
right.
same time, like, what role are we asking our medical professionals to play in those choices, which I think comes up um, in the disagreement.
Yeah, it's heavy stuff. This is not a light one,
It's
but
not.
it is an excellent conversation. You did an amazing job, and hope everyone listens and shares it with their loved ones, and hopefully can spark some conversations, and let us know what you think.
Yeah, please let us know.
All right. See you later, Kush.
Thanks, Alex.